welcome to Violin with Catherine. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to practice the violin. If you're new here, make sure you hit the bell when you subscribe down below so you get notified every time I make a new video. So the first step to having a successful practice session is by creating a space in your home or wherever it is you're going to do your practice where you feel safe, unjudged, and is free of distractions. If it's possible to keep your violin safely out in that location, then that's a fantastic way to make sure that you see your violin and you're motivated when you see it, and it's easy to pick up and get ready to play. So the second step, and this is super important, is to develop the habit of practice. When you're first starting out on the violin, you might not always have a lot of different material to practice. You might not know how long to practice. You might not even know how to practice to improve your skills. It doesn't really matter at this time. The most important thing is that you develop that habit of practice, and this is the time where you really can develop that habit. So you need to schedule into your week, and I'm not kidding, you need to do this. You need to schedule it into your week, put it in your diary or your calendar. These are the times and the days that I'm going to do my practice. Generally, music students come once a week for a lesson. So that practice time at home is really the true time when you do your learning. So it is super important to develop that habit. Step 3, plan your practice session. When students first start out with me, I always tell them in one lesson I cannot cover all skills, but over the course of the week of home practice, I expect them to go back over previously learnt material and skills and continue to develop these skills. In my lessons, I have a basic structure that I follow each week that I hope students can use as a guide for when they go home to do their home practice. We always start with our oral skills. We will often sing a scale up and down, do our listening exercises. Maybe we'll do a little bit of theory at this time, otherwise we'll do the theory at the end. We then go on to start with our scales for our playing, and then our exercises, our technical exercises. When we do sight reading, we'll slip it in here. We don't get to fit that in every week because there is just so much to cover. We'll then go on to our pieces. When practicing pieces, or when beginning a new piece, often what we'll do is we will break it into left hand and right hand, or if it is a bit of a tricky rhythm, we will work just on the rhythm before actually putting it in with our instrument. When we come across a particularly tricky passage in a piece or something that a student is struggling with, it's really important to take that out and just look at the skills and develop those exact skills. And then what is also super important is to put it back into the music. It can be sometimes not too bad when we just work on a little tricky bit and we get it, but when we have to play it amongst everything else that is written in the music and we keep our concentration switched on, then that is where, sometimes it is really quite challenging. So make sure that when you're playing through your music, you don't just play from start to end, and it's actually a really good idea to start somewhere else, because that will really challenge you and make sure that you're really reading the music properly. A lot of what we actually learn in a music lesson is, of course, the teacher teaches us how to play a piece, but as we develop with our playing, what we really are learning is how to practice, because as I said before, the true learning time is when we are in our practice session at home. So make sure that in your lesson, whatever your teacher has shown you how to break something down, to practice, to develop a skill, use those tactics to go and apply to other parts of the piece or other parts of other things that you're working on that you are finding tricky. Oh yeah, one more thing. Practice
slowly.
Thanks so much for watching. I hope that step-by-step process helps you get into a good frame for your practice. Let me know in the comments below what things you struggle with your practice, and be sure you've hit the like button and subscribed down below, and I will see you next time.